Welcome to Red and Blue. I'm Weijia Jiang in Washington. Thank you for joining us. As the war in Ukraine enters its second year, tensions are growing between the U.S. and China over the conflict. U.S. officials are raising concerns that Beijing could provide lethal military aid to the Russian war effort. China's top diplomat met in Moscow yesterday with Vladimir Putin. The Russian president said he's looking forward to a visit by Chinese President Xi Jinping, which is expected as early as next month. For more, Margaret Brennan and Nancy Cordes joins us now. Margaret is CBS News' chief foreign affairs correspondent and, of course, the moderator of Face the Nation. And Nancy is CBS News' chief White House correspondent. Margaret, I want to start with you because it was on your show this past Sunday that Secretary of State Antony Blinken actually gave you a few more details about these weapons. So I want to play what he said and chat on the other side.
The concern that we have now is based on information we have that they're considering providing lethal support. And we've made very clear to them that that would cause a serious problem for us and in our relationship.
Lethal support. What would that entail? What do you think of?
Weapons.
That's ammunition. That's
primarily weapons.
Primarily.
There's a whole gamut of things that fit in that category, everything from ammunition to the weapons themselves.
It seems like this is a red line for the administration. So I wonder what happens if China crosses it and does provide those weapons.
I was trying to get the secretary to be specific there, and he was avoiding it deftly. But to say weapons and ammunition and a gamut, he's directing towards what China hasn't done to date. We know that Chinese entities have provided satellite imagery to the Wagner Group, a Russian mercenary group in Ukraine, to actually help those mercenaries target better. And yet the U.S. considers that non-lethal. It's literally to help combat on the ground to the advantage of the Russians. But to put a gun in a hand, ammunition in the hand, that's where the administration is drawing this bright line. And it's so interesting that they are going public with this because as recently as February 2nd, the CIA director was saying this for Xi Jinping was the line, that his partnership without limits with Vladimir Putin actually wouldn't go this far because China says they want to bring this war to an end. And we are expecting from Beijing an announcement of this so-called peace plan as soon as tomorrow. So that doesn't make them a credible actor if they are actually going to help elongate the duration of the war and help Vladimir Putin to go through with this. And when it comes to that red line language, the administration hasn't detailed exactly what they mean, other than sanctions at this point.
Right. And I'm so glad you brought that up, in addition to the fact that they are going public with this, because, Nancy, in the White House press briefing today, you pressed Karine Jean-Pierre about what evidence the U.S. has that China might provide this lethal aid. So let's take a listen to that.
When should we expect to see some evidence supporting the administration's assertion that China is considering providing lethal aid to the Russians?
Look, we haven't seen China do that yet, and we certainly don't have any information for you on this at this time. But as we have said, we have seen China provide this kind of support. Like, we haven't seen China provide this kind of support yet, but they haven't said it's off the table.
Nancy, what do you make of her answer there? Because saying that China hasn't taken it off the table is not the same as saying the U.S. has definitive evidence that this is what they're going to do. So is there intelligence, or is this the administration posturing to send Beijing a message not to do it?
We're told that there is intelligence, Weijia. In fact, all week long, we were told that we were going to be able to look at least get a glimpse at some of that evidence any day now, but it hasn't happened. And so that was a White House press secretary who was being very cautious about what she revealed. There seems to be some back and forth between the administration, the State Department, and the intelligence community about what exactly they can say about what they know without revealing how they found it out. We're still told that we are going to get more information at some point. But as Margaret was saying, it seems that they came out sort of guns a-blazing even before they were ready to share the evidence backing up their assertions because they wanted to send a very loud message to the Chinese. We know you're thinking about this, and don't do it. Otherwise, you're going to face consequences, namely in the form of sanctions. Now, you might argue they've sanctioned the Russians up and down over the past year, and that hasn't stopped them. But the argument that I've heard from White House officials is that that means a lot more to the Chinese. Their economy is much more integrated with the world economy than the Russian economy is, and so therefore sanctions would hurt more and might cause them to think twice if they're considering helping the Russians in this way.
And on that note, Margaret, can you talk about why that matters for the American consumer? Because obviously China's walking such a delicate line here because they're wrapped up not only in the Russian economy, but the U.S. economy. And if there is a misstep, that could have huge implications here at home.
Huge implications. And we're already seeing this tension play out. You know, we think about guns and fights. No, this is playing out in the business space and the technology space. And China's the second fastest growing economy in the world. It is a behemoth even after COVID. It's not just a manufacturing hub, but they have moved into so many different areas and have so much exposure in Europe and so much exposure here in the United States, just even in terms of the U.S. debt that they own, that it makes it next to impossible to actually separate the two economies if you had to. Russia, you could try to isolate because other than commodities, they don't export a lot. Try finding something that's not made in China that's for sale in this country,
Exactly.
right? Try finding and cutting it off in terms of even just sanctions. I went back and I was looking at the Treasury list from the end of January, and that company I was referring to that was helping to provide the satellite imagery, their shell company was in Luxembourg. So it's not just talking about, trying to split the globe in half. This is an economy that is so integrated that it is almost impossible to pull apart. The business community has also been struggling with this and the pressure from the administration for some time. So this is where we're seeing more emphasis from the Biden administration to beef up the amount of scrutiny it has into the private sector. It's because of things like this.
And Nancy, money is one thing, power is another, and China is closely watching this war in Russia and specifically the U.S.'s involvement because it continues to eye Taiwan. So what message do you think the president sent to Xi Jinping when he went directly to Kyiv?
Right. He was sending a message that the West remains firmly in Ukraine's camp 1 year later, and that despite the costs, the ongoing cost, that the U.S. and European allies are not going to waver. They're not going anywhere, and they're going to stick around as long as necessary in this fight. In fact, he was really kind of bracing the West for a very long, drawn-out war that may sort of look like a stalemate to the outside world for quite a few months, possibly years to come. They're really starting to dig in. But it's really a tricky balancing act for the administration because on one hand, they're warning China, hey, stay out of this. On the other hand, they are trying to improve relations with China. And, they've had a couple of setbacks recently, particularly the shooting down of a Chinese spy balloon. But they are still working to reestablish better working relationships with Chinese officials. And they've even indicated that perhaps the best thing to sort of clear the air would be another conversation, at least a phone conversation between President Xi and President Biden at some point in the future, though there's nothing on the books right now.
Right. To say this relationship is complicated is to say the least. Margaret Brennan and Nancy Cordes, thank you both very much.